And I'm Darren Ravel, and we are talking about the Wizards and Caps and Monumental Sports' entrance into the NFT space. And joining us now are two very talented artists with a DC connection, Rob Zilla and Naturel. Guys, welcome, and thank you for joining us. I want to start with Rob Zilla first. Give us a little bit about your background and how you've gotten into digital art.
Wow. How much time do you have?
Not much.
Yeah, exactly. I started out as a teacher, taught for 20 years. And in a nutshell, I decided to make the jump after teaching 20 years into becoming a full freelance artist.
So you made the move, but like, what was the moment where you're like, oh my God, I got this? Like, what was the key moment in your art career where someone said, yeah, this is hot. Rob Zilla's a character. This guy is around. He's good. He's legit.
I think when I finally said, yeah, I think I could do this, I made it, is when I did the mural, the Ben's Chili Bowl mural for the Wizards. A lot of artists, either our work is trapped inside of our devices or trapped inside of our sketchbooks. We don't get to see them in the real world. But once you start to see your work in the real world, it becomes addictive and you want to do more to get that work out of that constraint of your tablet or your iPad and make it into the real world.
Naturel, tell me your story. How did you manifest yourself into this world?
I went to school at Pratt Institute in Brooklyn. Found my way into the fashion industry. I was at Rockaware, Jay-Z and Dame Dash's apparel company. I think at that time, it was my time to kind of move on and try new things and try my ideas. I started this style of seeing things and seeing the world through triangles and using that as my mark, my stroke. And I was just putting it out on the gram. And I think I got around to portraits. Did he like this? So I did his. And then he bought it. And then I saw Rihanna like it. So I did Rihanna's. It was a real organic type of thing. And it happened I think we've been doing this for 8+ years.
Rob Zilla, I want to talk to you about NFTs in general. Obviously over the last 6 months, they've really been a part of the culture coming out of nowhere, the acceptance of everyday people owning digital art.
I'm a rookie when it comes to this space. Like, this is my first NFT venture. For a long time, folks on Instagram have been asking, how can they own something that I've created? And I couldn't go and say, hey, look, here goes the Adobe Illustrator file. It's yours.
Right.
you know? So, I mean, it gives me peace of mind too, knowing that I'm safe within this agreement and everything else. But at the same time, I'm fulfilling my part of providing the art for the owner without having to worry about something happening later on. My whole take on it is, if it's moving us forward, then I love it.
And the idea of a smart contract, the idea that you could now own this. It's traceable to the rights holder, the artist, the person who owns it. There's no friction. If I say there's this Rob Zilla piece, I don't have to bring it to a Christie's or an auction house or an eBay, or it's boom. I want it. I got it. I sold it. I have the rights to it. There's no questions about it. So I think that's also an interesting part. A lot of people I know have gotten into art through NFTs, through owning digital art. They never appreciated art before because they didn't feel like they had access to it. And now that it's digital, they feel that they do. So there's a whole marketplace of people that say it's actually more intimidating because it's not a physical thing. But then there's the other way around, where there's some people saying, no, actually, it's less intimidating because I get it. It's in front of me. It's not in a painting that I need to have space on my wall. The Wizards and Capitals, Monumental didn't just pick random people in the DC area. They picked you guys because you are very qualified in the art world. Plus, you are legit fans. Naturel, you're obviously a native. So how far are you going back?
Born and raised in the Landover area, Largo area of Prince George's County, Maryland, right outside the arena, right? We were so close that when there were home games, like we couldn't leave the neighborhood. Like I'm from the time, growing up when it was the Bullets. I'm talking like, having the Muggsy Bogues and Manute Bol poster in my room.
Yep.
To be able to do this as an artist, to be able to express myself, like, and do my craft for a team that I felt like I've been cheering on for the longest, ever since I could remember. I learned how to write with the Bullets pencil, you know what I'm saying? Just because
that's great.
The Wizards are such a great organization. From my time dealing with them and being able to work on this project, like it was just, I was like, man, like I could hope for them to be cool. And they turned out to be like really, really, really awesome. And I was like, man, like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to kind of run and tell everybody and be like, y'all, like I finally made it inside the building, and they're really cool in there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so Rob Zilla, describe your DC fandom.
I'm a transplant. I moved up here over 20 years ago from South Carolina. And in South Carolina, we didn't have
no pro sports.
So when I moved up here and I was so close to the action, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take all of this in.
It was a marketplace that was open to a transplant, and that's not easy because there's markets that dismiss new people.
Definitely. Yeah. So that energy, that welcoming energy, just made me want to dive in a little bit harder. And a lot of my drawings take place during games. So I'm sitting at home in my comfy chair with a pillow on my lap and an iPad on top of the pillow, and the game is on and I'm drawing at the same time. When I finally got the opportunity to work with these guys in the Caps, in the Wizards, it was a dream come true. It actually made me want to step my game up levels above what I would normally put out, just because I got this opportunity to play for my favorite team. Like, as artists, we're playing for these teams. It's just like putting a jersey on and stepping out into the ice or stepping out into the hardwood, getting your name yelled out on the PA system when it comes time to perform. So I'm honored.
Naturel, can you tell me more about, you can't tell me much, okay, because we're not revealing, but can you tell me more about what you found in your inspiration when you were working on the Wizards NFT?
What I've done, and what we're working on is more like this, going off of the DC flag and how like all the stars are aligned, and how the Wizards are, the right pieces are kind of being moved in, and the right energy is being moved in, and things are now kind of aligning for us to be, a contender, So
I think that's enough of a whetting of the appetite, not giving it away. Rob Zilla, how would you describe the inspiration behind your Capitals piece?
There's going to be 4 separate pieces, which is cool. But there's a lot of nostalgia and some hints of Capitals of the past that I'm fusing into this new space. So we're taking some old and we're marrying some new along with it, and giving everyone out the opportunity to share in that same experience. I'm taking flat things and making it move, and a lot of opposites playing on each other on this whole entire experience.
Rob Zilla, who is doing the Caps NFTs, and Naturel, who is doing the Wizards NFTs. Thank you so much for joining us. You have great passion, and we're so excited to have you aboard on this project.
Thank you. Appreciate it.